ni Justin sa akin eh. Week 7 of basketball action continues here in Quality Games Basketball League Germania Cup, the 5th conference. This is also the last game of the round 1 in the eliminations. Live here inside CSA Gym in Makati City, Baron Mercado on the call, and we invite you to watch our games today on our YouTube channel, Quality Games Basketball. Here we go to start our triple header for today. Tri-J taking on Bridgestone. Bridgestone wearing their dark jerseys and Tri-J wearing their light jerseys here. And let's begin the story of today with Tri-J. They entered last game against Flashbacks Racing as one of the undefeated teams in this tournament, or only the undefeated team in the tournament, but they fell short against Flashbacks Racing, especially in that second quarter where they gave up 33 points while only scoring 22. So they will look to erase that loss and make it up for the end of our round 1 with a good and impressive victory. Meanwhile, for Bridgestone, finally they won their first back-to-back contest in this season after defeating Sancho Babies and of course their recent victims, Sonet Towers. A win today will catapult them at least a top 3 finish as we end round 1. So expect Bridgestone to play their best today, even though they are without their top scorer, Martin Reyes. Both teams looking to end round 1 with a much needed victory, who will get the momentum as we head into round 2. 2-1 is the score, a corner 3. That's at least a back-to-back misses for them here. Talking about Bridgestone. Sobrevega from the corner, and he starts this day's proceedings with a 3-bomb, giving them a 2-point lead. Mark Tagle with an answer. He has played well in his last 3 games. Talking about Mark Tagle, as I look at his stats here, Tagle scored 17 points off the bench most of the time, I should say, but he gets it done. At least for the 2 times I've covered Bridgestone, always playing well is Mark Tagle. He enters the scoring column with that drive. And that flip shot goes in by Sean Farinas. Scored 10 points in that loss against Flashbacks Racing. A 3 from the right wing. Believe that is Vlad Singh with that 3-bomb. 7-6 is the score. Mukesh struggled in that game against Flashbacks. Gives it to Vivek to answer back with a 3. Talking about Vivek and Mukesh, as I look at my notes here, Vivek Nebuani finished with 32 points, 14 rebounds, and with 5 3-pointers. Jan Sobrevega scoring 13 points only in that previous loss, now has 5 here in the opening quarter. Ethan Casares will turn the ball away. 2-on-2 break. Vivek takes the drive strongly on the cup and makes that basket. Sobrevega, I should say, and Vivek Nebuani combining for 10 here in the opening. Couldn't contain on that 3. Sobrevega will push it, gives it to the left, a bit too strong. for Sean Farinas to answer. So we are 5:50 remaining. 13-7. Casares bulldozes his way in our week 4 best player of the week. Finished that game against Sunet Tower with 22 points and at least 14-15 rebounds. John Sobrevega on fire to start the first. Second three-pointer for John Sob. Has 8 in the first quarter. Now they pound the ball to Ethan. Sends it out once again. Still couldn't connect for that 3 ball. Sobrevega will push it. Nebuani wasn't able to get there right in time. An early 16-9 start for Tri-J. Again, if they win today, they will need to wait what will happen in our main event, as Grazery will take on Flashbacks Racing. So it will depend who will be our top team today. So if Grazery wins and if Tri-J also is victorious, again for with a virtue of a win over the other, I assume Tri-J will take the top seed. But if the Tri-J wins and Flashbacks Racing defeats Grazery, then Flashbacks Racing will be our top team as we end round 1. But if you are Bridgestone, you want to pull them back, talking about Tri-J, and have a tie as we end round number 1. Again, without Martin Reyes, who was spectacular against Sunet in that last game. 35 points, 3 3-pointers for Martin Reyes. So expect Mark Tagle, Kobe, De Los Santos, Vlad Singh to fill the gaps here. Ethan Casares will man the middle. Here's Mokesh on the drive. He dumps it off. Chulani couldn't convert. Now on the push, they give it to Kobe. 2-on-2 breaks, stops, pops, and drops. Kobe De Los Santos scores his first 2 points here. 16-11, cuts the lead to 5. Nice defense played by Bridgestone, and they will push once again. Tagle gives it on the right, gives it back to Mark the Spark Tagle with 4 points here in the opener. 16-13, 3-point lead. Let's see if Tri-J can find themselves up here once again. What a drive and recognition. Mukesh finding Farinas for the easy drive. Pushes them to a 5-point lead. Tagle once again. Now he spots up. Too strong on that 3. Sean Farinas gets the rebound. Mukesh will give it to Sobrevega. This is JC. Couldn't connect. Chulani with an offensive rebound. Swing. Now this time Mukesh down the hatchet for 3. 3 minutes 08 remaining here in the first quarter. 21-13, an 8-point lead for Tri-J. Kobe De Los Santos gives it in the left. Back to De Los Santos. Shot clock is at 8 seconds. Drives, makes that layup. Tough finish for Kobe. So that's 4 points already for Kobe De Los Santos off the bench. Him and Tagle combining for 8 of their 13. Mukesh knocks it down from way downtown. Second 3-pointer for Mukesh Monani. Has at least 8 points already. Tagle with 6. Now stepping up is Mark the Spark for a Bridgestone. 24-17, a 7-point lead. Trijay, they have shown they have range. Vivek passes it to Cholani. Nice handoff. Farinas gets it to go. He has 6 as well. Last 2 minutes with a minute 48 remaining, and Tagle is on fire in the first. Talking about a player stepping up here for Bridgestone. What a move by Tagle. Has 8 points already. Vivek with 8. Here's Mokesh. Another one drops. Starting to feel the range here is Mokesh. 10-point lead. Tagle, the hot hand here for Bridgestone. De Los Santos drives. Pinoy step a bit too short. Mokesh on the drive will find Monani one more time. This time it is a miss. Chulani with it, yet another offensive rebound. JC couldn't connect on that 3. Was a JC Sobrevega. Final 50 to go. Here's Tagle with 8 points. Mark sends it in the corner. Still couldn't connect for 3. Up and under. Finally gets 1 to go. A tough bump and make right there. With 28 seconds to go, JC Sobrevega couldn't answer. Put back as is in. Believe that's Chulani gets that one to go after 2-3 offensive rebounds. He gets his way in here in the scoring column. Final 8 seconds remaining. Tagle to beat the buzzer a bit too early. And that's how we will end our opening quarter. A 10-point lead for Trijay, led by Mukesh Monani and his 3 3-pointers, John Sob and Vivek, combining, I believe, for 10 points. So that's at least 20 or 19 of their 31 points combined here. 31 to 21, second quarter on its way. Pa-remove nung narinig yung sarili ko. Remove na lang. Pa-remove mo. Delayed ba? Medyo eh. Second quarter here in Quality Games Basketball League La Germania Cup, the 5th conference. A 10-point lead for Trijay, 31 to 21 is the score. Hot shooting for Mukesh Monani with at least 3 3-pointers. Here it is once again. This time couldn't make the first 3-pointer here in the second quarter. Again, live here inside CSA Gym in Makati. This is Baron Mercado on the call. Mark Tagle misses his first shot in the second, but that put back dropping in for Bridgestone to start. I believe that's Jet Tan scoring the first 2 points here in the second quarter. Farinas couldn't get that layup to go. Again, in that first quarter, it was really a shootout. Mukesh Monani with 9. Vivek Farinas with 6. And Jan Sob with 8 points. So those are the 4 players scoring for them. Mukesh easiest 2 points of the game. He leads all scorers with 11 points. Talking about Mukesh Monani. Pushing the lead back to double digits. Again, Tagle leads the way here for Bridgestone without Martin Reyes. They give it inside to Ethan Casares. Again, week 4, week 5, player of the week. Showing us that he is one of the best bigs here. Speaking of the best, one of the premier guards in this tournament. Jan Sobrevega enters the scoring column in the second quarter, and his double-digit streak continues. He has 10 already. And in his last game, John Sob only limited to 13 points. Credits to the defense of Flashbacks Racing for limiting a player like John Sob to only 13 points. One of the reasons why they pulled away in that contest. But right now, John Sob still on a mission to make a bounce-back game. Has 10 points in this contest, but knocking down those 2 free throws. Vlad Singh, he has 5 in this contest. 35-27, early moments here in the second quarter. Sobrevega finds Vivek and 1. Another assist for John Sob to his running mate Vivek. Nebuani gets it done, plus the contact. 37-27 is the score. 10-point lead. Chance to increase the scoring here. Nebuani with 9 points. John Sob with 10. Mukesh Monani with 11. Farinas with 6 and 9 points for Nebuani as he completed that 3-point play. Kobe sends it in the corner. Here's Tagle. Couldn't spot up for 3. Farinas will push the pace. Here's Sean against 3 defenders. Vivek, 3. Miss. Farinas with a cleanup. Bakers Dozens lead 40-27. This is where Bridgestone is missing the services of Martin Reyes. Not afraid to shoot those threes and very, very consistent to do so. What a move on the lefty. Mark Tagle with 10 points. Sobrevega against the guards. Look at that pass once again. This time, ball rolls out. Cholani gives them yet another opportunity. A miss by Mukesh. Runs back and scores for 2. 13 for Mukesh. Cholani with 4. At least 4 offensive rebounds in this contest with 2 points. Kobe all board on that last play. Last touch will be on Ethan Casares. And he thought it will be their possession. What referees call otherwise here. 42-29 with 6:15 remaining here in the first half of action. 13-point lead. Here's Vivek. He has 9 points. Mukesh has 11 in the contest. Swings it in the corner. Vivek, jumper, hits the side of the rim. Casares will go down here against 4 defenders. There's Ethan on the spin. Casares for 2. Bulldozes his way in. They didn't get that offensive foul or a dribbling violation call. Regardless of which, that is a basket for Casares. Mukesh, a bit cold here to start the second quarter. Misses last 2 3-point shots. Tagle on the drive. Too much on the English. Mukesh leading a 3-on-2 break. A fancy behind his back. Here's Vivek inside. Puts one in. Vivek with 11 in the contest. Singh for 3. Vlad Singh knocks down the 3. Still a 13-point lead though. Or make it an 11-point lead. After that 3-pointer by Vlad. Singh with 8 points already here in this contest. As we approach the final 5 here in the second quarter. John Sob, I believe, will now play with JC. Farinas sends it in the corner. Vivek to John Sob. Here's Jen Sobrevega. One-hander is good. 12 points for John Sobrevega. One more. And he will tie his previous output. But look at Casares go like a freight train. Just taking control on those driving lanes. And as a big, you love to see that. Look at that fadeaway by John Sob. Sobrevega now with 14. Now he's on pace to score at least 25 in this contest. And right now he has already surpassed his total from his previous contest. Vlad Singh with 8 points. He will be relied upon here, as well as Tagle, who has 10. 4 seconds to go. Here's Vlad. Couldn't call glass. Farinas with a rebound. Here's Vivek Nebuani against 2 defenders. Nice defense by Kobe on the last second. What a tap. Stopping the bigger Vivek Nebuani. Again, these feisty guards of Bridgestone doing their best to stop the snipers of Tri-J in this contest. 48 to 36. Here's Farinas. Bumps, shoots. Couldn't contain. Good defense by Casares. Tagle with 10 points gives it to Kobe de los Santos. To Ethan Casares, this time on the left. Casares effective today. He has at least 12 points in my count. What a performance by Ethan. JC Sobrevega couldn't knock one down. Nice recovery by Tagle. Here's Kobe de los Santos. Again, Sobrevega gives it to Vlad. Singh to Tagle on the fake. Mark couldn't make it and cut the lead to single digits. Sobrevega surveys the floor. Mukesh thought about that three. Now drives, passes it to Sobrevega. One-hander. Couldn't connect. A 3 on a 2 break here is Kobe de los Santos. Couldn't take it all the way though. Both teams a bit on a struggle. Here's Sobrevega to end it. Couldn't make it. Good rebound by Jeff Tan, or Jet Tan I should say. Getting yet another rebound. Has a 4 points in this contest. They swing it. Nice pass. Casares. He cannot be stopped here in the second quarter. He has 12 in this contest, I believe. Doing majority of his damage here in the second quarter. Farinas, jumper is good to end the bleeding. Sean Farinas with 12 or with 10 points in this contest with a minute 40 remaining here in the second quarter. Tagle surveys the floor. Now shoots a 3. Bit too short. Sobrevega with a rebound. Now he is on the push. All gas, no breaks, but there's a foul before that pass to Vivek. Every time I see John Sobrevega play, he is just cruising on the basketball court. Cruise control is a John Sobrevega, and you are really in good hands if he has that ball. But that foul will be called on that Sean Farinas attempt. Can Ethan Casares doing his job in the second quarter, carrying majority of that scoring load. Farinas with 10. Rattles in for 2. Gets the first one to drop, I should say, for Sean Farinas. He has 11. 12 points for Sean Farinas. You have 4 players in double digits for Tri-J. 12-point lead, 52 to 40. De Los Santos pass was read. Rescued by Ethan. Finally dropping that 3. Mihir Visuwani knocks down that 3 finally. After a couple of tries here in this contest, Seeing that ball go through can be some signs for him to heat up as they need to get things going as we prepare to enter the second half. What a pass by Sobrevega. Vivek to answer back. Why not? Lead is back to 12, 55 to 43. A 3 by Viswani, answered by Vivek. One more time. Yes, sir! That's back-to-back threes for Mihir Viswani. Same spot, same result, no problem for Mihir. Sobrevega on the left. Now making that Steve Nash dribble as he pulls up, sees the clock. 3-second differential between the shot and game. 10 seconds on the game clock, 4 on the shot clock. Here's Sobrevega. Couldn't complete that double cross. Chulani once again. JC couldn't drain it as we will enter the halftime with a 3-possession lead by TriJ, 55 to 46. Back-to-back threes made by Mihir Viswani and answered by Vivek Nebwani on the other side. 55-46, TriJ with a 9-point lead. We are at halftime. Second half of action between TriJ and Bridgestone here in our Thursday triple header for a Quality Games Basketball League La Germania Cup, the 5th conference. Live here inside Coleo San Agustin Gym in Makati. Baron Mercado on the call. And after the first 20 minutes, it was a different story in the first two quarters. First quarter certainly belonging to TriJ and their smooth and sweet shooting led by Mokesh Monani, finishing the opening quarter with 9 points and 3 3-pointers. Meanwhile, on the second quarter, I believe it's safe to say that Bridgestone gets that one with Ethan Casares scoring 10 of his 12 points in that second quarter. And we begin the third quarter with both teams having some miscues on their side. A steal on a counter steal, and John Sobrevega, easiest 2 points of today, leads the team here in scoring. John Sobrevega with 16 points, Vivek Nebuani with 14, Mukesh Monani with 13, and Sean Farinas scoring with 12 for TriJ. For Bridgestone, Ethan Casares with 12, Mark Tagle with 10 points. And look at Ethan go this time, finishing on the right side. Has the agility to blow by the defenders there. And I can see why this Bridgestone squad is feeding Ethan Casares inside. He knows that he can operate. Sandwich between two Bridgestone defenders was Sean Farinas. Again, scoring 12 points is Sean Farinas in this contest. Aside from Casares with 14, Tagle with 10, Vlad Singh with 8 points. As I look at the lineup here for Bridgestone, everyone who played today has scored a point or two. Meanwhile, for TriJ, JC Sobrevega yet to score. And if he does, everyone who saw minutes today will be having a point total. Kobe De Los Santos with 4 points in that second quarter. Here is Vlad. Bit too short on that 3. Sobrevega with 16. Look at that burst of speed and control. Sends it out. Mukesh with a fake. Monani elbow jumper is good. A deadly combo when you have John Sobrevega running down on your left. You have Vivek on your right. You have Mukesh. Both players can heat up at any time here. Speaking of heating up at any time, Mihir Viswani with 2 3-pointers in that second quarter. This time inching closer. Couldn't get the floater to drop. Here's Mukesh this time on the right. Nice read by Vlad on that pass. 60-48 is the score. 7:29 remaining here in this third quarter. Again, in terms of the team standings, 4-1 for for TriJ. That is John Sobrevega channeling his inner Steph Curry. Sobrevega on fire, and he's on a mission. 19 for John Sob. Casares with a pirouette. Basket is good, and 1 for Ethan Casares. 16 for Ethan Casares today, with 6 rebounds in his contest. So far, it's a battle between Casares and John Sobrevega. Nothing but net for Ethan Casares. He has 17 in this contest so far. But still a 12-point lead for TriJ. Again, TriJ is at 4-1. Bridgestone is at 3-2. If Bridgestone wins, they will be tied with the TriJ in the team standings for that number 3 spot. But look at Vivek losing his defender and swishing down the 3. TriJ wanting a C for that top spot. A victory today will be at least on their side there, as Mark Tagle lays it up, has 12 in this contest. Sobrevega with a push. Vivek with a catch. Back to John Sob. To Vivek in the corner. Back-to-back threes. Couldn't make it. Solid rebound once again for Bridgestone. I believe that is Jet Tan carrying that rebound. Open 3 for Tagle. Couldn't connect. Difference primarily right now is that outside shooting. Nice pass. Farinas with a finish. That is a scary sight to see. Sobrevega not only scoring at will but dishing out to his teammates, getting them involved, and almost a stop there by John Sob. As I look at his stats, talking about Sobrevega, he has 19 points. He has 4 rebounds and he has 6 assists. Casares goes inside once again for 2. 19 for Ethan Casares. How they wish they have Martin Reyes playing today. Talking about Bridgestone. Here's Mukesh. Down it goes. Another 3-pointer for Mukesh. That is 15 points, or make it 18 points for Mukesh. In this contest, Tagle couldn't convert. Sobrevega stepping through for this 3. Bit too short. Couldn't make it 22 in this contest. Mihir gives it in the middle. Now attacks and will be fouled is Jet Tan. He has 4 points in this contest with 6 rebounds. He will have an opportunity to add more points and cut the lead here as I look at the 3-point stats right now for both teams. Bridgestone only 4 of 20 shooting from the outside. Meanwhile, 10 of 24 for Tri-J. That's 42% from deep as Jet couldn't connect on the first one. John Sob with 3, Vivek with 3, and Mukesh with 4. That makes up their 10. And they're shooting at least in the 40% mark. You have 3 players, 3 lethal players. What a pass by JC! Finding Fariñas on the cut. Smart play by JC Sobrevega. Will not be surprised if that will be in the top 10 play, top 5 plays. But Vlad Singh says, notice my 3, and I did with that swish. Here's JC, thought about that 3. Sobrevega to Mukesh. Monani goes up, and there is a foul. Bridgestone wanting that foul to be downstairs. Referees call it on the act of shooting. Tagle and Mukesh Monani talking through that last play, but we will have a review. We will have a challenge. Let's see if that attempt by Mukesh Monani will be an act of shooting, because Bridgestone saying that it is downstairs before Monani can get up and drop that floater. 73 to 58 can be a good call here. So no act of shooting. Referees correcting their last call. Tagle and Bridgestone will have another challenge the rest of the way after completing the challenge here in the third quarter. 4:13 remaining, 73 to 58. Sobrevega with a tight pass. Fariñas with a jumper. What a game by Sean Fariñas today. He has at least 17 points in my count. Tagle with a bounce pass. Tough shot by Jet. Couldn't connect. Here's Mukesh. Dribbles, shoots this one off, and it's good. Mukesh Monani with 21 points. That's his 5th 3-pointer of the game. Vlad for the answer. Man, if Martin Reyes is here, it would be an amazing shootout between Mukesh, Vivek versus Vlad and Martin. But Bridgestone needs to play through without Martin Reyes. What a pass. It was anticipated by Casares. Hand in his face. What a shot by Mukesh on that one. Hand in his face, fading away towards the right. Meanwhile, Vlad is always there for the answer. We are just exchanging 3-point bombs here with 2:50 remaining in the third. JC Sobrevega gives it to John. John Sob with 22 at least. That pass was read perfectly by Casares. Kobe De Los Santos to Mark Tagle. A pass was a bit too late on that last one. Casares to Kobe. De Los Santos thought about that three. Gives it to Big Ethan. Offensive rebound. Tagle. Casares with a cleanup. 81-66 is our score. Sobrevega with 19. Farinas with 19. John Sob enters the 20-point mark with that jumper, and a steal by Sobrevega. Here he goes, stepping through for this three. Couldn't make it. A 5-point swing for John Sob. 83-66, a 17-point lead. A minute 45 remaining. Kobe De Los Santos finally getting one on the basket. 83-68. 15-point lead after that miss by Try-J. Here's Jet on the finish using the left hand. Jet Tan enters the scoring column once again. Chulani with a couple of offensive rebounds in his name. Mokesh still at 5 threes, I believe, or 6 in this contest. Iran Casares with that room service layup. Really doing his best here, cutting the lead to 11. Casares with at least 21, 23 points as we approach the fourth quarter. Chulani couldn't make it. Tagle, one-on-one against JC Sobrevega. Here's Mark Tagle through contact. Couldn't make it. No call by our refs. John Sob on the attack. Mokesh all day to shoot. Couldn't drain it. Another rebound. Here's Sobrevega. Drills the three. Chulani gives them another opportunity. John Sob with 24 big points. 86-72. A 14-point lead as we approach the final 10 in the third quarter. Casares leading the way with at least 22. Nice fake. Casares once again is there on the putback as we end our third quarter. A sizzling third quarter. A lot of shooting between these two teams. Mokesh Monani leading the way here for Try-J. Vlad Singh, Ethan Casares with a response. Fourth quarter action coming up. 12-point lead, 86-74. Try-J with a 12-point lead. Fourth quarter action. Check that the score is 86-74 as Mokesh Monani with 6 3-pointers, 6 out of 14, and John Sobrevega combining for 48 of their team's 86, with both players scoring 24 points each. Kobe De Los Santos gives it to Vlad for 3. Starting up the fourth quarter with a 3-point conversion. That's 20 points for Vlad Singh today. Still has made his last 3 3-pointers. Talking about Vlad Singh as the action is ongoing. Vivek rattles home a 3 to start things off for Try-J. Let's thank our sponsors for our league. Swish app, La Germania, Bridgestone, Grape Hair Studios, ECX, and Passion Events. It will be a race to the finish who will make and convert on these threes. Tagle this time couldn't connect. Vivek sends it to John Sob on a 4-on-2 break. Here is Vivek, couldn't convert. Casares with 25 points. Now they have the advantage. Goes up and Farinas hacks him as he went up. Talking about Ethan Casares, who has 25 big points, 11 rebounds for Ethan Casares. Makes the first free throw. Casares and Vlad Singh combining for 45 of their team's 78. Singh with 20 points in his name. A lot of scorers here. JC still couldn't find that first basket. 89-78. Clock is still early here. 8:25 remaining here in this fourth quarter. A lot of time for Bridgestone to make a comeback and make a run. They give it to Ethan against 4 defenders inside the paint. That's how you stop the freight train, Ethan Casares. Would love to see him and Jit go at it. Maybe in the second round. Here's Casares inside. Puts the ball in. 28 points for Ethan Casares. Lead is down to 9. Vivek for 3. That is all air. A chance here for Bridgestone to inch closer. Tagle hasn't scored well since that first quarter. Casares with 28 against the smaller defenders here. Puts one up. Couldn't get that one-hander. Vivek with 24. I should say that is Mukesh gets that one. Mukesh Monani with that end one finish. 26 points for Mukesh. Just closing down the opportunities here is Mukesh Monani wanting to deny Bridgestone to make a run, a comeback as he drops the free throw. 27 for Mukesh Monani. He has 6 3-pointers on his name, 6 of 14. Singh lost the dribble on the rebound. They give it to Mukesh. All day to shoot. 30 for Mukesh Monani in this contest. What a game by Mukesh. He is a walking heat check for Trijay. Casares goes up. Referees will call a traveling as the lead blows to 15 once again. Maybe too much firepower on the side here for Trijay. You have 3 players scoring 20 or more. Nice pass by JC. Cholani couldn't get that jumper. Casares to Kobe. De Los Santos inside for 2. What a pass by Casares. De Los Santos with 8 points in this contest. JC Sobrevega with that beautiful pass earlier to Farinas. No call by our referee. Here is Mukesh one more time. Ball is taking too long here. They give it to JC. Couldn't make it. Jet throws it. Kobe De Los Santos goes up and puts it in. Kobe De Los Santos with 10 points in this contest. Speaking of 10, it's only a 10-point lead with 6 minutes remaining. Trijay stepping back here for a bit. A miss by Mukesh. Ethan on the run. They found Tagle a bit too high on that pass. Again, those are the plays that Bridgestone wanted them to convert. For them to, cut the lead here to single digits. Lowest they got was at least at 9 points. 5:40 remaining, 95-84 is the score. Sobrevega to Vivek. Gives it up top, Farinas with 19. Jumper is good. Reaching 21 points is Sean Farinas. Not playing for a Tri-J, Kaiser Galvez, a player that can score for them. Here is Sobrevega on the steal. John Sob with that one-hander, 26 for John Sobrevega. And just like that, it's back to 15 as we are approaching the final 5 here in our first game of 3 for today. Jet Tan for 2 and puts it in. Again, they need to deny the scoring opportunities once again. Mukesh to Cholani inside and puts the ball in. Dinesh Cholani with 4 points with 6 rebounds. Pass a bit too high. Recovered by Farinas. Sobrevega from way downtown. It's good! John Sobrevega. He has 27-28 points. Tagle for 3. Bit too strong as Casares lost the grip. What a game by Tri-J today, showing us why they are one of the top teams here, as Kobe couldn't make it. A running start, a 3-0 fast break opportunity as Mukesh just puts the ball in easily. 30 points for Mukesh in this one, or make it 32. Vlad couldn't make it. A cleanup by Ethan Casares. As you look at the scoreboard, says an 18-point lead, 106-88. So Brevega with 29, 32 for Mukesh in this contest. Monani has been really leading themselves in. Look at that run in. Kobe de los Santos cherry picking here in the fourth quarter. Mukesh, another 3. Casares yet with another rebound. Has a couple of rebounds, a couple of assists. Vlad to Ethan. Casares with a fake and puts the ball in the basket. Ethan Casares also with 32 points here. A lot of 30 bombs in this first game of 306-92. Vivek in the corner. A bit quiet. Here's the man of the moment with 30. Look at that pass. Mukesh Monani to John Sobrevega. Highlights after highlights we are seeing between these two players. Sobrevega with 28. Mukesh with 1 assist again. And they're just placing everyone here. A statement win incoming for Tri-J. This time it's Jansov to Mukesh Monani. 34 points for Mukesh. So we are into the last 2 minutes. Bridgestone will drop to 3-3. Casares with that 3. He has at least 35 points already. But a bit too much for them to handle was Tri-J. Again, Sobrevega with 28. Vivek Nebwani with 20. Sean Farinas with 24. And Mukesh Monani scoring 32 big points. Dinesh Cholani giving them more opportunities, especially in that opening half of basketball. He had at least 2, 3, 4 offensive rebounds in his name. That really set up Mukesh Monani and the others to shoot those outside shots. Meanwhile, for Bridgestone, And one of their weapons is that Martin Reyes curl for that three-pointer. Without Martin, who's averaging close to 30 points, they really felt his absence against Traije. And I know that when they face each other in the second round, this will be, a much personal game between Traije and Bridgestone, as JC Sobrevega finally scores his first 2 points with 40 seconds remaining. Everyone who played today got their baskets in, but more importantly, it is Traije who will get that much needed win after setting back against the Flashbacks Racing. Now they will wait for the winner of our main event game between Grassery and Flashbacks Racing to see where they will be team standings wise, but ending the first round with a 5-1 record, only losing to Flashbacks Racing as that 3 by Mihir Viswani gives him his ninth point of the contest. Meanwhile, for Bridgestone, unfortunately, they will be tied with Sonnet Tower in that 4 and 5 spot. Tied at 3 wins and 3 losses as we end our first half. Congratulations to the winners. At top of the team standings, Traije 114-98 for Bridgestone. Congratulations to Traije. Next game will be an interesting game. It will be Sancho Babies taking on Grape. Let's see who will get their first win when we return here in Quality Games Basketball League Season 5.